Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Live with the Madtown Minute. I did not announce today ahead of time that I would be on at this time, so we'll see who we actually get us to join live. But as always, we will be sharing this later across social media, across Facebook, Instagram, my feeds, and then also, of course, on YouTube. So always lots of ways to watch this. However, I love those of you that join me live because then we can hopefully make it a two-way conversation as we share all the topics that we're going to cover. So welcome everyone. My name is Erica Despain and I'm the editor of All Things Madison. Every week, either on Thursday or Friday, I like to get on here for roughly 8 to 21 minutes. That's how my longest and shortest ones have been. And discuss with you the behind the scenes of the stories that I worked on this week, as well as the interviews that I did for future stories, as well as some of just my happenings around town. This is where we have an unedited, obviously live conversation about things going on in Madison. I like to do this live because you know that what you hear is what you get. There's no editing and going back and trying to make it sound perfect. Generally, what comes out of my mouth is the real deal. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Thanks to all of those that are joining live. If you have any questions and want to chit chat about anything I discuss on here or just something else from around town, feel free to write it in the comments and I will get to it if I can. Okay. 3 stories have been on allthingsmadison.com this week. The first one was all about Wild Honey Tent Co. You guys have seen that all over social media. They absolutely blew up. I think when I filmed this last week, I finished up 10 minutes later. I had my doorbell ring and they were here. We were so excited to have them. So hey to Logan and Lindsay Jacks. They are the owners of Wild Honey Tent Company. I will say, I said this to them, you get this in the live edition of me discussing the stories. I think they should raise their prices because they're that good. They are that good. What they deliver, it took them, if I wasn't talking to them, it probably would have taken them an hour. It took them about 2 hours because I was talking to them and my kids were around. They were so excited. But even if there was no one around and they were hustling, it probably would have taken them at least an hour to set it up. They created this backyard oasis for us, not just a real bed, literally an entire bedroom with lighting and furniture and coffee and bedding and rugs. I mean, an entire bedroom they set up in our backyard. It was wonderful. We would love to utilize them again and actually have them set up for us out at Honeycomb out in Gunnersville. If you've never been out there, it's a really great little lake beach that we enjoy going to each summer. So it's also a campground. So we would love for them to set up right on the water and just go out there as a family and have a really good time. Right now they have 2 sets of stuff. So if you only have them Friday night, then say each family only has them for one night, then they can serve 4 families a weekend. But if my family has them for 2 nights, another family has them for 2 nights, then they can only serve 2 families per weekend. This summer, they are going to start offering 7-day-a-week tent packages. So I think for a birthday party, I mean, they're going to kill it. They're going to kill it. I hope they already have a zillion bookings because I'm so happy for them and I know how hard they've worked and I'm so confident in putting my name behind their product and telling people to utilize them because they are going to exceed your expectations. Their heart behind it is awesome and they strive to please and make sure that you have a great experience. So definitely consider Wild Honey Tent Company for birthday parties, girls' weekends, a night away with your spouse, a camping option. I mean, I was up in a real bed. It did not suck. It was awesome. So anyway, so yes, it's all about Wild Honey Tent Company. Okay, I also did a story, I think I published it yesterday, about Pamper Me Pretty Kids Spa. So Sean Morrow, she is opening this kids spa over on Old Madison Pike if you're heading towards Horizon Elementary. So that would be heading east. That newly revitalized, let's see, Courtney says, I grew up with Lindsay at church and she's the sweetest, such a genius idea. Yeah, she really is sweet, and her husband, Logan, he matches. I mean, they're a power couple. They're awesome. So Beacon Hill Nutrition, there's that business over there where Greg Machin Photography is, or used to be. I'm not sure if he's still there. They repainted it maybe a couple summers ago. And I mean, it's a prime location. I just think it hasn't kept up aesthetically with some other shopping centers in town, but now we're getting some amazing businesses over there. So the owner, Sean, she's awesome. Her grand opening is tomorrow. Me and my girls will be at that. My kids are super excited about this. She's going to offer manicures, pedicures, facials, the paraffin wax. She's going to have sparkling cider and robes and a little runway that kids can show off their little things they get. I just think it's a really great idea. And the other thing I really like about Sean is that she has a huge heart for just helping kids build confidence in themselves. She wants to have this kind of under the table, under the radar program where kids who live in poverty can come in and just be spoiled and be loved on. She's going to be in touch with local elementary school principals and try to get a handle on who some of these girls are that could really utilize her services. So I think that's part of that is probably my favorite part of writing All Things Madison, is being able to tell the stories of the hearts behind these business owners. It's not just a kid spot. It's an owner that really strives for this to be a confidence building, potentially life-changing thing for these girls that they deserve. So grand opening for that tomorrow. You can start booking services for as early as this Saturday. Drop my little sheet here. Okay, today I published a story about senior pastor at Restoration Church, Huey Hudson. So if you are on Wall Triana Highway heading towards 72, it would be on the left side. If you're on 72 and you make a left onto Wall Triana Highway, it'll be right there on your right, just past McDonald's. So this church has been there forever. Pastor Hudson became the associate pastor in 95. And then became senior pastor with his wife in 2006. And they have grown the church in massive ways. His interview, I shared this on Instagram today. His interview was one of those that when you hang up, you just feel better. He is a good man, and he had a lot of what I call off the record, just mic drop moments when he discussed topics such as diversity, but not just racial diversity. He talked about gender diversity and generational diversity. And he believes that every church here in town has a different mission. And for them, one of their missions is to help build healthy diversity in Madison. We also discussed his roots in Madison. He moved here in 86 when he was a newlywed, worked for Browns Ferry nuclear plant as an engineer, transitioned to being a senior pastor. He just has a big story. And I told him, I said, I heard through the grapevine, people really like you. People respect you. They just like you. And he laughed in this humble way. And he said, I have good connections with community members. His granddaughter is actually named after Robbie Parker. His granddaughter's name is Parker. And she was named after him because that's how much the family adores Robbie Parker. If you don't know, he was a former superintendent at Madison City Schools. Huey Hudson is the one that often goes to city council meetings here in Madison and opens them in prayer. Just a good man. And I loved sharing that story so that people can learn about diversity in Madison, because we do have a very diverse community. To learn about a community member who's been here almost 4 decades, but also to learn about a local church. And so if you're looking for a church home, you can read about that and maybe it'll be a good fit for you as well. So I enjoyed learning about Restoration Church and talked to Pastor Hudson this morning and just enjoy him so much. As far as what we are working on for next week, there is so much in the works. I've been sharing that for the last few weeks, that things are opening up. Business owners are excited. Event coordinators are excited. There's just a lot going on. I talked to Fleet Feet today. So there will be an article up on All Things Madison on Monday about them. Many of you know they're a shoe store, but there's so much more to them as far as their heart, why they opened in Huntsville 17 years ago, why they brought a store to Madison, and what they're hoping to bring to our community. Again, love to share the heart behind these business owners. I talked to a counseling center owner. Really looking forward to sharing that story. That was one that that interview was longer than I anticipated because of me, because I kept asking questions, because I was truly trying to predict what are the questions that people reading this article may be asking themselves, such as, how do I get set up for an appointment? Do I just call? I don't even know what to do, so I'm just not going to call, okay? I want to answer that question for you. Okay, when I call, how much am I going to have to explain about what I want to talk about or why I need to come in? I want to go ahead and answer that in the question. My goal is for, obviously, to just keep on working on that mental health stigma and removing that, but also painting a picture for people of what it looks like to go receive services at this counseling center. That article will be up in about 3 weeks, so keep an eye out for that. But I'm excited to share it because it's a local business here in Madison, but I also think it's one that will truly serve our community. Mental health is very, very important for many reasons. Very important. And so I hope to paint a really good picture of what that would look like to be someone that receives some of their services. Let's see. I also had a great meeting with a lady named Lisa Smith. She is the owner of 2 businesses here in town. The office is at Spenryn, which is over off Sullivan Street. And then she also owns Trade Bank. So just a powerful, hardworking, super, super kind entrepreneur here in Madison. She has a plethora of professional experiences, and I so enjoy getting to know her and working with her specifically on the offices at Spenryn and telling you guys about it. Spoiler alert, but the offices at Spenryn is a place where you can rent out facilities to do work if you are mostly at home, but you need to change a pace. Someone like me could utilize it because if I want to work outside of my home, I'm always in a coffee shop, and then I feel like I need to buy a coffee or something every hour. And so, I love working in coffee shops, but sometimes just going into a room outside of my home, shutting the door and working would be very, very beneficial. And I know it would for other people as well. So keep an eye out for the offices at Spenryn. I'm very excited to tell you guys about that and Lisa Smith. Okay. On the What's Happening in Madison group this week, things got a little testy, rightfully so, as someone brought up the 3% tax on all businesses over in Clift Farm, with the exception of Publix. So some people did some digging. I think it was WHNT that uncovered the story. I have not done a ton of research myself, but from what I have seen and read, there is a 3% tax added on by Breland, who's the developer of Clift Farm, to pay for some of his expenses to create the community, such as road work on Highway 72, some road work that leads back to some of his subdivisions and whatnot. So that's a 3% fee that he recoups to take care of some of those type expenses. So people are upset. So Clift Farm, we've talked about this before numerous times. So Clift Farm is actually in Madison County right now. It's not part of Madison City or Huntsville City. Mayor Paul Finley, mayor of Madison, says that when Clift Farm is complete, they will do a massive overhaul assessment to determine if that is something that we want to acquire. Well, why wouldn't we want to acquire it? Because while we would get the tax benefit of having them in Madison City, that also means that we are going to acquire all of those new residents. Where are those children going to go to school? We are going to have to build new schools. So all the money that we get from Clift Farm, having them in Madison City, is just going to go right back into a school. Does that make sense? That's what they're going to assess to see if the perks outweigh, if the financial benefits outweigh the cons. So, and I imagine Huntsville City is maybe waiting to do the same. I don't know. I think there's a lot behind the scenes that none of us really know. So because they're in the county, supposedly taxes are only 5% right now. You add that 3% tax. Now they're up to 8%. Similar as if you were here in Madison City with tax. It's just people are upset because it goes to Breland and not like a city. So big topic this week. I know that people are like, I'm banning Clift Farm. I'm not going to shop in those businesses. And I totally get what they're saying. It's just I've now met a lot of those business owners that have their businesses over there at Clift Farm, and I don't want to see them hurt. It's just a sticky situation for the community and money, and again, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with some of these developers and the businesses and that sticky world. So, but yes, just be aware of that tax and, make an informed decision about where you want to spend your money. That's what we all have the right to do, is make a decision. Okay, I think that's about it. Glad everyone is safe after what ended up just being some rocking and rolling thunderstorms. My friend lives over in the Pebblebrook subdivision. She said that there was a backyard shed that got struck by lightning. Big boom around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Big fire, but thankfully everyone was okay, and in a neighborhood that has 1 million houses. Thank God that it hit a shed. So I do believe there was another property that was struck by lightning here in Madison as well, but I don't believe there's any injuries. So yes, very, very severe storm, but thank goodness we didn't have any tornadoes or any, I don't believe we had any circulation at all in this area. The wind was not what it was expected to be. So that's awesome. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in. I always appreciate those that join live, and thank you if you are watching this recorded for just supporting and watching. Feel free to email me anytime, erica@allthingsmadison.com, ERICA @allthingsmadison.com. If you have story suggestions, ideas, or questions, I love to research those for you. And it helps me know what are some things that could help make the community better for you. So hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Tomorrow we are heading out to Newmarket to a tulip farm. So we're so excited to get a sneak peek at that. The Hubert family farm opens officially on Saturday. So I will be on the website Saturday telling you all about that. Just for fun. Not a partnership really at all. Just excited to get a sneak peek and then support this hardworking family as they launch their first season of tulips. So have a great rest of your Thursday and a weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.